Bye.
Bye.
Hey, just give me 1 second. I'm just gonna close the sun thing. Give me my cheek very light.
Wow, I love this one. This was amazing.
You think so?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Okay. We are number 4th, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are in a dialogue about branding, how to brand yourself. And Kriti found my article in Expert Hub, and where I have written about the 7 laws of branding you should follow. And she has a lot of questions. So I'm here to answer. You probably have some of the same question as her. So don't be shy. Answer them in the ask them in the comments, and if I don't answer them in the video, I will definitely get back to you. And today we are talking about the 4th law.
Yep.
Yeah, so
It's the law of decision making, and believe me, I was sort of on crossroads.
okay,
Yeah.
tell me why.
I saw your webinar
Yeah,
and I was like, uh-huh, yes, I've got this right, and maybe I should work on this, and like this cross list, like checklist going on in my mind. And then I was like, maybe I should ask Richa to just enroll me for a branding and packaging workshop. And I decided, I mean, I was like just wondering how important it is to be decisive.
when it comes to your branding, you think?
Yeah, I mean, because when you were explaining about branding, I was like, yeah, we all are businesses. And now more than ever, because this COVID scenario isn't going anywhere, and we have this chance to brand ourselves like virtually,
Yes.
not so much in person, but yeah, virtually. So it's so
See,
important.
your brand is like when you thought, okay, let me just hop on this workshop because I need this,
Mm-hmm.
right? Somehow my brand should make it easier for you to make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so a brand should be into kind of planted into every customer's, every client's brain in that way, so that they think, okay, I want to go with this brand because I can know either they give security or quality or is cheap or there's some kind of a relief that they're getting from this brand. And so the decision making becomes easier. That's what actually brand stands for.
Mm-hmm.
There is no doubt in my mind, if I want to buy running shoes, the first thing I will think of is Nike. Just do it, because it's so integrated in my brain. Even though it might not be the best running shoes for me, but I will still think that.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, I will go for that because it's easier.
Mm-hmm.
It's tested.
Mm-hmm.
If there is a product that doesn't have a good brand, or somebody doesn't know the brand, they will still question it. Does it suit me? Would I be happy? Do I have to buy because it's cheap? Would it soon be broken, or do I have to replace it soon? Even if it is a expensive good or product or service, people will think, is it a good quality? I'm spending so much money.
Yeah.
If the brand is very clear, you don't have to think so much. You
Mm-hmm.
go directly to it. As I was saying in that article, when I had to go to buy a fridge that day only, I had not thought about buying a fridge. I couldn't care less. I had mine for, I don't know, 17, 18 years. I haven't done anything with new fridge. It's just a place I put food, right? So I'm not going to spend too much time. And my husband calls, hey, we need to buy a fridge now. I'm tired after a long day, coaching and teaching and so on. I really didn't want to go. I hate shopping. I hate shopping. So what do? We go to this store, and the first thing I can see is Electrolux
Mm-hmm.
and Samsung.
Mm.
And these two, I know. I especially know Electrolux is really good. My parents' last fridge lasted for 25 years.
Whoa.
So what does a brand tell me? It has integrated in my mind by experience that they deliver good quality.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I spend 10,000 kroners today or 8,000 kroners today, I don't have to go through this painful experience of shopping again for another 10, 15, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So what have that brand done for me? It had made it easy for me to choose.
Mm.
I don't care if some other brand is just as good, because then I have to use my head, which I did not want to do that day. I didn't want to make a choice. So the brand had already done the choice, like um, taken the choice for me, made a choice for me. So that's what the power of brand does. If somebody wants to learn something from somebody, if the brand is strong enough, there's no doubt in the mind that I want to learn from that person. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So Anthony Robbins' brand is really strong. His
Mm-hmm.
personal brand is
Mm-hmm.
really strong, you know, and I want to learn from him.
Mm-hmm.
That's something else that I can't really afford one-to-one coaching from him. So I'm learning from whatever he can give me, whatever I can find. So if your personal brand and your company brand is strong, you don't have to let the customer make the choice. You're kind of making the choice for them.
Hmm. That's
So you're
interesting.
kind of building a trust.
So tell me, when it comes to building a trust, and since decision making will be involved in every step, right from the customer choosing that particular thing to all the steps before, like when the company came in existence and what they manufacture, so like their logo and design and the color. So do you think you have to be like decisive about these things as an entrepreneur, when you have to decide about what should be displayed and what should catch the eye, your target audience and stuff, or it's not that important? How is it?
It is very important, and there has been done a lot of research on how we make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
What colors affect us?
Mm-hmm.
What color put us off?
Mm-hmm.
Because in different cultures, in different society, different colors have gotten different symbols,
Mm-hmm.
right? So most of the countries have red as stop, but also red as love.
Mm. Yeah.
Green as go,
Mm.
right? But
Mm.
also green is environment.
Yeah.
So green, and in some cultures, green is also the color that the bride is wearing.
Yeah.
In some cultures, white is only worn in the weddings, whereas some cultures that is worn in somebody's death and funeral,
Yeah.
right? So colors and language,
Mm-hmm.
sound, the texture, the font size, the font, and the shape, it all matters. So if you've done your research right, you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be in confusion for how your logo or your tagline should be. It
Mm-hmm.
should be appealing to most of the people, but you cannot satisfy everybody. So if you know your target audience and what they go for, and then it will be easier for you to decide. And don't just leave it up to faith, or don't just, I would say, if you really want to succeed in branding yourself and your companies, you should really give it some thought and make the decision that so your brand reflects you as well, and all
Mm-hmm.
of these things, but also you as a person. So right now, as you know, I have a studio and I'm renting it out. Due to COVID, it's not happening that fast as I wanted to, but this is another part of my business, like a new business that I started with my husband, and we have called it the unique space. And because we want it to be a little bit party, and we want it to be associated with happy things, but still, hip and young, we went for a logo and a text that was very appealing to youth.
Hmm.
And what colors do you mostly youth go for? Black.
Okay. Um, Let me guess that color. Okay. Pink and blue will be very common. So some subtle color.
Black.
Okay.
Yeah. And the text is in kind of, so it feels like it's a neon bulbs that are
Mm.
showing. Why? Because that group, yes, one would think, why would somebody choose black? Because it's neutral,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the parties are dark and hip, and so that's why, again, might not be a color that I would have chosen for myself, even though I use a lot of black. But it's not about me only. It's also about who's going to associate with that brand, right? So it has a lot of things, a lot of factors you have to think about when you choose a logo and a brand.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
That is interesting. That actually narrows down and gives you a lot of comfort in knowing the fact that one decision of yours, like every decision of yours on the step of building up a brand, is going to have so much impact or ripple effect.
yes.
So, yeah, it's very important to know. Any tip on what you should not decide on, like immediately, or something that should always stay the way it is? Any?
No, see, what I've also experienced is that keep a name and for your company or your brand that tells you what the services or products are.
Hmm.
Because so that people can understand it right away when they hear it. If you're very new to the market and you're not that known, it's easy to get confused because there's so many brands out there, there's so many names, there's so many companies. You want them to understand right away what you do.
Hmm.
They don't have, because nobody has time to look it up. Nobody has time to understand what is the values behind it. So if you have a very specific, like very symbolic name, it might be symbolic to you and it might be really nice for you, but
Mhm.
it's not something that somebody can understand right away, then it doesn't, make any sense in the long run. Then you keep on explaining it to everybody, keep on explaining, why did you choose that? Why did you choose that? Like, I'll give you an example. When I ran that other organization, it was called Damni House of Culture. Now, Damini in itself doesn't mean shit for Norwegian because it's an Indian name, right?
Hmm.
And House of Culture, yes, they could understand. So this has something to do with culture, but it doesn't say Indian dance. It doesn't say Indian dance and music. Well, the word was put together by your truly, but I was very young when I did it. So I didn't understand the concept of branding at that time. I was very artistic. So I put together dance, art, music, Indian and Norwegian Institute. That is
Mm.
how Damini became. And then the person who was designing our logo put House of Culture in the bottom as a tagline so people would understand what it is. But still people did not understand what it meant. So we kept on explaining what Damini House of Culture stand for. And that's when I learned that always create a name for your brand or your company in a way that people can understand right away what it is about. Otherwise, you'll have to spend every like waking hour just to explain what it stands for.
Okay, so point taken. You should be clear and specific when you're delivering your brand's name and
Yes.
tag.
Yeah.
That is indeed quite enlightening. And thank you for that wonderful, paragraph of wisdom, Richa, because I think I'm really going to join your branding and packaging workshop. So I think, yeah, I'll be enrolling there. But to do that, I'll have to log off now. And thank you so much for today.
Cool.
And see you tomorrow.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.